Hi there, this is Kate Baker from Virtual Go 2. I've got some tips for you at the moment all about data mapping. Data mapping is looking at what data you hold and where it is and how it transfers from one place to another. Now, you need to know what data your business is processing. That's a fundamental of the regulations, but it's also very useful for you because if something goes wrong, you know where the risk areas are and you can have your plans formulated for how to deal with them. So you'll find that you can check what you have, things like names, addresses, email addresses, IP addresses, where it's stored. You might have it in the cloud, you might have it on laptops, you might have it in a filing cabinet, you might have it in a Rolodex if you're still using those. It's important to know where it is. You need to know in what format it's held as well. So that you would record so that, again, there are different solutions depending on what format you've got your data in as to what you can do about it. You need to know how long you keep your data. You need to know how long you ought to keep your data. The target is as short a time as possible so that you only have what you absolutely need. And then where it's transferred to, it might be to HMRC for taxes. You need to know what purpose as well and how it's secured. So that can be something like a password, or it could be encrypted. If we're talking about paper documents, then it could well be in a filing cabinet that's locked, kept in an office that's locked with keys that only with people who are authorised to have them. So there are lots of ways of recording this. Obviously, you want to go for the simplest that you can. The Information Commissioner's Office has lots of downloadable general templates, but they do cover organisations of every size, which means that you would need to edit them because otherwise there's a lot in there that would mislead you. So I've developed a simple template that's on Excel. It's in one of my programs, and you can customize it to make it suit exactly what you want, and it is purely aimed at small businesses like mine, like yours, where you are the owner and you operate and run almost everything. Now, I will be releasing the program in the next few weeks, and I'll make sure that you know about it. And that will help you if you don't already have a record of what you do. Now, my favourite way of getting to grips with data mapping is a visual one. I find that it makes everything fall into place much more easily. So start with a process, like for instance, a sign up for your newsletter. And I do it in the form of a flow chart. And so I have my boxes and I have my arrows pointing from one to the next. And sometimes if the data goes in and comes back out again, then obviously it's two-way arrows. And I can record in there any key information, and then I keep my notes at the bottom. That's how I like to do it. And I will do a training session where I'll show you how I do data mapping to start with. You'll probably find after you've done a couple of your processes that you'll have started to get a feel for it, and you won't necessarily need to do your flowcharts again unless you want to. I mean, as I say, I find them very helpful. I also find that it's very useful if you have colleagues, subcontractors or employees that you want to understand as well. You can give them this, and it's very quick as well to grasp, which I think is important because we don't have lots of hours in the day. So you can put things in there like where your data processor is located. So if you're using an Amazon server, for instance, obviously you want your Amazon server to be within the EU or the UK. For GDPR, it makes it easier if that's the case. And you can just record that, so you can mark where the server is located, and that goes towards your due diligence. Again, another subject that I'll cover in another video. So talking of other subjects, international data transfers, which we almost touched on there, talking about Amazon. They're a very touchy subject at the moment, particularly in respect of the USA. The USA did have what they call a mechanism or an agreement called Privacy Shield, but that was decided to be illegal by the European Court of Justice in July. So there are lots of talks and lots of ways to look at to deal with that. But I will cover that as a separate subject because it does have more detail, and I think this one's gone on quite long enough. So anyway, I wish you all continued success, and I'll see you soon.